Okay, so I know I've been gone for like, girl, we ain't gonna talk about it. I just been like really, my closet is clearly dirty, so you guys are getting this real deal fully filled right now. So I came here actually to talk about Bill Cosby's conviction, and I also came to talk about Kelis's interview with Hollywood Unlocked, which I am totally obsessed with. But yeah, if you guys are interested in my hair is from Recool Hair, if you want to know. So yeah, to the point. So anyway, Kelis did a interview with Jason Lee. He's the guy who threw the drink at Nasal, and she talked about her career. She talked about what she's doing now, and she talked in very in-depth and very honestly, in my opinion, about her relationship with the rapper Nas, her baby's father, ex-husband. And I see this often where someone is painted away and then you guys continue to paint her in this light. And I'm a huge Kelis fan. And I've watched a plethora of her interviews, and this is the first time I've ever heard her be this upfront, this candid, this open, this vulnerable, this honest about her relationship with Nas. And the reason why it sparked this video, it has less to do with their relationship, although that's part of it, and more to do with what climate we're in right now with children and relationships and celebrity and all of these things. Because she in this interview, she talks about the physical and emotional abuse that she went through with him on both their ends. Because it wasn't just, she never said because what he just did. She said what we did. We would get drunk and we would fight each other. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't, she said, I wouldn't, elect to start the fight, but I had no problem with finishing the fight. I feel you, girl, because I'm the same way. And then this interview, it didn't feel like she was lying. I felt like I was having a conversation with her about her life. It didn't feel like she was trying to no longer protect the Nas name. It was more so like, I'm tired of being drugged through the mud. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. So much so, I mean, if you guys have time, watch the interview before you guys comment on these headlines, like on a Shade Room and Baller Alert, because what they're gonna do is they're gonna sensationalize one portion of it and not talk about everything that happened. And she talks about the fact that people believe that she makes all this money from him and she doesn't. She said, I just as of 2012, started getting $8,000 a month from him in child support. And I feel like, and she talks about a plethora of things, and I feel like a lot of people just be like, who needs $8,000 a month for an 8-year-old? And I'm like, if you live in California and your father is Nas, one of the greatest rappers in the world, and your mother has one of the most popular, well, a plethora of popular songs, you can't go to public school Johnson up the street. You know what I'm saying? That, and sometimes that is a semester for those kids. It's like a tuition for a college student. Like, it's expensive. And that's not her overspending. That's her doing what's best for her child. A lot of celebrity kids out here, some of them do go to regular school. My sister was a after school TA for kids, and she said a lot of these basketball players' daughters would end up here after school, but they didn't go to the school. They went to this school and then they dropped them off here to be picked up. And it was a private thing that she was even doing. It wasn't just everybody signed up and it was what it was. And that's how it is. I think people forget in California it's very different and it's very expensive. If you guys knew how much my rent was, you guys probably would pee on yourself. You know what I'm saying? But I've elected to live where I live and pay the rent that I pay. But it's no matter where I go in LA, it's going to be expensive. Same thing in New York. So when I hear people say $8,000 is too much, $8,000 is not enough. Imagine what you're paying with picking them up, dropping them off, and gas, what you pay for clothes, what you pay for shoes. He's a growing boy. He needs this. You're paying for toys. You're paying for after school stuff. You're paying for this. That $8,000 is gone in a millisecond. And there's no way that she can take that money and live in California off of $8,000. Whether she's giving the kid money or not, that's not enough to live. So let's just get that out of the way, okay? Because, girl, $8,000 is like $800 in LA. I'm telling you. Look it up for yourself. Look how much rent is. Look how much utilities are. Look how much personal bills are. It's ridiculous. And she has a home, and I'm sure she's purchased her home. She goes into all that about how she ended up having to tour because she had no more money because she put all her money that she got from Europe, because you know people in Europe, they pay you in cash. She's like, you know, I used my cash money to put in on a house and he would pay the mortgage. So I would put the down payment with my own money and then he would pay on the mortgage. She said, I came back from having our son and it was a foreclosure notice on the fucking door because this idiot decides he wants to be upset with her and doesn't want to pay the mortgage anymore. So she's like, what do I do? I've never done this. So I have to go on tour now and release an album because he wants to play fucking hardball. That's the part that I think people are missing. That part. There's no empathy for mothers who go through stuff like that. My mom was a single mother raising 2 kids that are 3 years apart, and she had me when she was 15, 16. So it's very difficult to raise a child, figure out where you're going. Kelis had her son at 29. She got with Nas at the age of 22. They got married, I think she was like 24, 25. You know, that's a lot of your 20s you're spending with somebody, and you know what it is. She never said it was only him. She said it was us. We was doing stupid shit, you know, which we all do. But I do have a friend, and I asked her, can I talk about this? And she said yes. I'm not gonna say her name, and I'm, you know, that whole thing. But she has a baby with a rapper. And one of the things that Kelis said that I thought was very interesting is that she said, he makes it seem like I don't want to let him see his son, but the issue that I have is he likes to come in and out and play dad when he wants to. And I'm left to pick up the pieces when he doesn't show up, you know? So if you want to be a father, be a father. I have no problem with you coming in your child's life. My issue is when you come up and you cause havoc and ruckus, and then I have to then explain to this child why his father isn't coming because you're too much of a coward to do it. So if you're not going to go by the rules that the primary caretaker takes, then you're going to be out. It's that simple. I'm not going to argue with you about it. I've never kept you away from your child, and I never will. She just was with him for Thanksgiving, guys. Like, can we just... She said, my mother had a stroke before Thanksgiving. I felt away. She got better. She felt better. We had Thanksgiving dinner, and he asked, could my dad come? I said, okay. I asked my husband. My husband was like, do what you got to do. It's cool. She invited him after all he's done to her and said about her and made her to look. She still had her. She said, because I don't care what the public thinks of me. I only care what my child thinks of me. And he knows what it is. But I'm not going to be on his level. I'm not going to meet him where he's at because he's clearly very upset. You know what I'm saying? She said he drinks a lot. I can believe it. She said it was a volatile relationship. I can believe it. You know, so when you see that your favorite rappers and actors are being called out for the things that they do, fabulous. And people don't want to believe it because they're like, oh, he's one of the... It still can't take the fact that he's the greatest rapper of all times. Like, yeah, that's great and dandy and fine and cute or whatever, but it's still, you're trying to minimize her truth because he's a fucking rapper. But what kills me is that everybody wants to say that she's lying and saying this now for whatever reason. When his baby mother, Carmen, who wrote a book, she said the exact same thing about him and no one blinked an eye. But because it's somebody that you see who's crazy and boisterous and all this, she's the angry black woman. That kills me. That kills me. I made a comment on the Shade Room. It was a picture of Emily B. And I said, baby, can you just smile for us? And I really didn't write it. I didn't write it with the intent that people thought I was, which was trying to say, can we see if your teeth are knocked out? But after people brought it to my attention, I said, well, I mean, well, you said, it said you got your teeth knocked out. So what's going on here? Then I was accused of making fun of a domestic violence victim. And I found that to be extremely funny because the people who said this, I've never seen them on any of the positive black pages that are on Instagram. I only find them on the Shade Room. I've never seen them on any domestic violence. I've never seen a lot of these people who are often very active in these comments ever post anything about domestic violence awareness, but all of a sudden they're activists. I find that to be hilarious. But what the cherry on top of that was that she was at Coachella with him. So you were mad at me for a joke that I didn't even intend to make because you're that cynical and you think like that and you feel that way. And that's what kills me, is that y'all so quick to attack one side of a story. I don't know Nas like that. I never met the man a day in my life. But I can say that a lot of these actors and rappers that I do know and I've had contact with, they are notorious for beating people, not even women, people that they're with often. Okay? So the fact that she said this, I'm not shocked by it. I'm just more so like, of course, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys are interested in that interview, make sure you guys watch it. I'm not the hugest fan of Jason Lee, but I will say that I did appreciate him for this because I'm a huge Kelis fan and she doesn't talk about this. And to see her open up and be vulnerable, I think it will help somebody. You know, regardless of what you feel about her, she's telling her truth. And nobody can't tell her that her truth is wrong because she's known this man way better than we do. Let's keep that in mind. So to Bill Cosby, kind of the same thing. I feel like people are trying to victimize the victims and say that they are out for the word clout. If I never hear it again, I am going to be the happiest person in life. Okay? They just wanted money. And I'm like, it's a criminal case. From my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe any of them got a check. And I don't believe any of them would want a check. And I think what people are missing is they're saying, well, they went up to the room with him. What did they think was going to happen? True indeed. They could have been just some groupies trying to get off and say that I slept with Bill Cosby in the 70s. A lot of people do it. But what you guys are missing, which is the point, which is if I go to a room with you, I don't want to drink something and then I have no control over what I say yes and no to. That's the point that you guys are missing. You can't use me and then do what you want with me and I'm inebriated and then expect for me to be completely and say, oh, well, he's Bill Cosby. He's Cliff Huxtable, which he ain't. That them ain't the same people, okay? You can do what you want with me because you have money. You know, you use your pocketbook. And that's what Kelis was saying about Nas. He uses his money as leverage in order to be right when he knows he's wrong. So today when I seen, well, it was yesterday, and I seen these women come out and they embrace each other and they hug and they're crying. They're crying because it's a relief. It's a relief when you're able to tell, you get vindicated for something that happened to you. That's why when people say, well, why is Kelis speaking now? I didn't know there was a time period in you know, a hourglass on when it was time for you to tell your truth. Okay. Sometimes just because something happens at that moment, you don't always want to talk about it. And for me as a person, I've been through that. There's things that I've never talked about with people. And then I finally sat down and said it to them and they're shell-shocked that I've been able to function through a lot of stuff that I've been through personally after certain things have happened to me. And it's like, because I'm ready to talk about it. You can't tell me what my truth is. And you can't tell me when I should and shouldn't say something, you know, or when I should and shouldn't speak up. All these women want to come out and now speak out. The thing is, this is not a new situation. And if y'all just didn't use the Shade Room and Baller Alert and shit on Instagram and blogs to be your source material for what things are going on in the world, then you would understand that this has been a long time. So then when people don't want to bring up, well, Harvey Weinstein, he's still out. Ain't nobody did nothing for him. Well, his career is pretty much over, okay? And just like Bill Cosby's situation, it takes time to get to a court. You don't go to court. You don't do something today and then be in court tomorrow, you stupid asses. So when I hear people say stupid stuff like that and say, well, why is it because Bill Cosby is a black man, not realizing that this man has violated somebody, violated women, okay? You're not understanding that point. The only thing that you're looking at is this Bill Cosby and you're thinking about pudding and shit. Think about if this was your child, not your daughter, not your son, your child that you birthed into this world that did something stupid and they got violated from that. Would you say, well, girl, it's Bill Cosby. What are you teaching your kids? Are you teaching your kids, don't put your hands on me unless you got money? Is that what you're saying? Because if that's, is that what you're telling your kids, then the world is already fucked, okay? We got 9-year-olds talking about your mama's a hoe and you got bad butted shit. So this hope is gone. Children are definitely not our future at this point. But the thing that irritates me and aggravates me is that you have people blaming people for something that they didn't. It's not their fault. You're blaming the victim for what someone else did and not seen. But what y'all fail to realize is y'all want to talk about he's a black man. Y'all trying to listen. R. Kelly on tape doing it. We have the girl's name and identity. We have the date of the tape. His face in the tape. We have girls coming out from a fucking bunker up beneath a fucking Chicago liquor store saying that they have been held captive, even though I don't feel like as an adult you can be held captive, but mind tricks are something, and clearly he's good at this. Marriage certificates, and he has not seen a fucking jail cell yet. Okay? So all of this is it's not a race issue. And I'm tired of y'all trying to make this a fucking race issue. It's a right or wrong issue, okay? If you do something wrong and you do the crime, you're going to pay the time. And Bill Cosby thought he was never going to have to pay the time for the shit that he's done to this women. And guess what, Mr. Huxtable? Sit your ass in cell block 8. Bye. And I don't care what no one says. If it was my child, if it was my grandmother, if it was anybody, wrong is wrong, is right is right. It doesn't matter. Is the system crooked? Yes. Do we need to change some shit? Yes. But you cannot sit back and say because this happened to this person, then this person should get off scot-free because we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. This man pretty much admitted that he did. If I did something to you, I'm sorry. That's a narcissistic asshole who has no motherfucking regards for human beings, period. And what you guys have to remember is that celebrities, okay? Listen to what I'm telling you guys. Celebrities feel like they are gods. And their money gets them out of a lot of pickles. It took how many women to take this man down? How many years to take this man down? Imagine all the other assholes who are in Hollywood who are doing this. I'm sure they're shook if now, but if you're sending your children to Hollywood and you're putting them in hands of people like Bill Cosby, be forewarned that they might come back to you one day as a parent and tell you about the fucked up shit that they went to because you left them to the wolves, or you told them not to say nothing, or you told your daughter to go get with a fucking rapper so she can secure her future instead of giving her the correct shit to do as a woman to stand on her own 2 feet and never have to lay on her back to do anything. Okay? Emily chose to be with Fabulous. She's also choosing to stay in that situation. Okay? But I don't want to hear no sympathy for her because she is allowing herself to be taken advantage of by somebody that she says loves her. He loves what he can do to her. He loves what he can get out of her. She's like an old beanbag. She's very comfortable for him. Okay? Chrissy didn't whoop Kimbella's ass because she said that her and Fabulous motherfucking touched knees on the bus. She whooped her ass because Emily couldn't do that. And I don't condone fighting. And I like Kimbella, but that ass whooping was warranted, bitch, because you don't never tell another bitch what you done did with they motherfucking man and expect for her to sit there. So she's lucky Chrissy was there, okay? So I don't feel bad for Emily, but I do feel bad for women like her, and I have empathy for her. I don't feel bad for her. I have empathy for her situation. So remember, everybody that's going through a situation, they speak when they fucking want to. It's a lot of y'all who are watching this video right motherfucking now that got secrets that are so deep that you probably will never tell nobody because you either too ashamed, you don't want to talk about it, or you're embarrassed. And that's okay. But don't go off with those feelings and tell somebody else, girl, what took you so long to say something? Bitch, because I was living my motherfucking life and I don't want to be fucking stuck there. That's what the fuck happened. So, not to get too deep into it, but all I'm saying is I don't like victim shaming. I really don't. That shit pisses me off, especially when people do it to children and women. Because those are the two people that people try to so bad. You want to devalue them and then put somebody on a pedestal because they would have wrote a fucking song about a Jeep. You really think this motherfucker, would you leave your kids around R. Kelly? That's the fucking question. If you have kids, put that shit below and hit the like button while you at it. And if you don't like what I'm saying, hit the dislike button while you at it. Would you leave your kids with R. Kelly? Unsupervised? With no cameras? Your 14 and 15-year-old daughter? Would you? Just because you like his song and you think the Piper is so cute and he make good motherfucking sex music? Would you? So say what you want about whoever the situation is. Make people accountable for their fucking actions. It's that simple. It's cut and dry. So this video is getting long, but I know I ain't gave y'all one in a minute. But I just want to give y'all something to think about. Celebrities are people too. They have feelings too. They go through shit too. And this is why I'm not about to sit up here and go at Kanye like that, because he's clearly needs some help. And the fact that y'all sitting up here laughing at this man and y'all think it's funny when he ends up dead, I want to see how many of y'all chuckling now. Because the same motherfuckers that was talking about Meek wasn't shit are talking about welcome home, we love you. He ain't taking no L's no more. Pick a side. Pick a wall, Boots. Pick a wall. And I will catch y'all in my next one, okay?